The house was quiet when I heard the door open to quiet for the hour. He stepped inside like someone hoping the walls wouldn't notice, shoulders hunched, keys barely clinking in his hand. I didn't say anything at first. I just watched him from the hallway, the dim yellow light catching the edges of his face. He smelled like night air, and something else I couldn't quite place. He tried to walk past me with a tired smile. The same smile he used when he wanted a question. Did disapprove before it was asked. But then he lifted his arm to take off his jacket and the sleeve slid back. That's when I saw it. A bite mark, sharp, red, fresh. It sat on the curve of his shoulder like a confession pressed into skin. My breath caught in my throat. That was no accident, no stumble, no mistake you get from working late. He froze when he noticed my eyes lingering there. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The house seemed to lean in, listening. A dozen explanations flashed through my mind. None of them innocent, none of them matching the man who now tried to tug his sleeve back down like nothing happened. Rough day, he whispered, avoiding my gaze, but skin doesn't lie, and neither do teeth. I knew then, whatever story he'd been telling me, it was about to fall apart piece by piece, just like the trust we'd built. For the rest of the night, I couldn't stop thinking about that mark. I watched him move around the bedroom, pretending everything was normal, pretending that nothing on his skin told a different story. He kept his back turned to me longer than usual, like he was hoping I would forget what I'd seen. But once you notice something like that, you can't unsee it. His excuses from earlier traffic, a late meeting, a broken elevator echoed in my mind. They felt thin now, paper thin, and the bite mark, bright against his skin, felt like the one truth he couldn't hide. Every time he shifted his weight, every time he touched his neck like it ached, it became clearer. He was uncomfortable because he knew he'd been caught halfway. I asked small questions, not accusing, not angry, enough to see his face change. And it did. His eyes darted, his voice softened, his answers grew shorter. His calmness was too careful, too rehearsed. The house wasn't quiet anymore. The silence felt heavy, watching both of us. And as he turned away again, pretending to sort through his things, I realized I wasn't just wondering what happened. I was wondering who had gotten close enough to leave their mark on him. The bite wasn't just a bruise. It was a story he wasn't ready to tell. And I wasn't sure how much longer he could hide it. The silence between us stretched longer than the hallway he'd walked in through. He kept touching the sleeve that covered the mark, as if hiding it would somehow erase what it meant. I watched him carefully, every blink, every breath, every small pause he tried to disguise. Guilt has a rhythm of its own, and his was racing. When I finally stepped closer, he didn't move away, but he didn't meet my eyes either. I gently placed my hand on his arm, on the fabric he was so desperate to shield, and for a moment he froze. It wasn't fear of pain, no. It was fear of being seen, truly seen. Tell me, I whispered, my voice barely holding together. He swallowed hard, the kind of swallow that happens when lies have piled up too high. He opened his mouth, and then closed it. There wasn't a story ready. There wasn't an explanation. Just the raw, uncomfortable truth sitting between us like a shadow neither of us could ignore. The mark was small, but its meaning was enormous. And standing there, I realized something quietly devastating. Sometimes betrayal doesn't arrive in words, it shows up on the skin where it can't be taken back.